So I am the CEO, one of the founders. The other founders all have credible histories and good track records. And everyone here is going to tell you they have the best management team. So I'm going to let you do your own due diligence. The websites are there. Our team does welcome calls and emails. I cut my teeth on the Kaminak Gold Corporation, which was involved with the coffee gold project discovery in the Yukon. I was the second hire of that company. We delineated 5 million ounces, raised 165 million. I've probably been involved in total capital raises of 200 million, and ended up selling that company to Gold Corp for 520 million. So this is what's next. Yes, it might be the next Snowline, no pressure. But as the title states here, big deposits leave big footprints, and I truly believe that. And you have all these companies here, about 2,000 junior mining companies, and everyone's trying to find the next mine. So that's the equivalent of trying to find Michael Jordan at the age of 10. How do you identify that? So our projects, we look at these projects through the lens of, are they a mine? And to that point, we then reverse engineer not only our exploration efforts, but also the risk mitigation side of things, which a lot of people don't talk about. Now, keep in mind, 99% of projects don't become mines. It doesn't mean you can't make money, but if the statistics are against us, shouldn't we focus on risk mitigation just as much as the upside? And that's the focus here with Tectonic. Finding gold is important, but there's also the economics, there's the local communities, there's the jurisdiction, there's the First Nations, things of that nature. Now, I draw your attention to our forward-looking statement slide. It is located on our website, so please take the time to read it before making any investment decision in our company. Now, the excitement is really centered around one project that we have. We do have other projects, but today I'm going to speak about Flat. And this project, we have a lot of slides to support that it does tick a lot of boxes for us. And again, keep in mind that we're looking at this project, although it's earlier stage, through a mining opportunity. I mentioned the team. One thing that's different about Tectonic, and also different about our projects, is that our success in the Yukon was phenomenal. It was great. Love the jurisdiction. Hope to get back in there one day. But what intrigued us about Alaska was that there are sophisticated for-profit native corporations that own massive tracts of land. They own the mineral rights, things of that nature. So I went First Nation or Native Corporation door knocking back in 2017. We ended up doing 5 mineral lease agreements over the span of 2-3 years with one particular for-profit native corporation, which happens to be one of the largest private landholders in the state. As part of our acquisition process, what we did that was different is we actually flew to a local village of 150 people, met with the chief, brought Ira Thomas, one of my business partners and co-founders, myself, Kurt. We went and met with them. And that was important because the native corporation's for business, for mining, but is the local village for that. That one event back in 2018 basically spurred this native corporation to now cut a check and become a shareholder in Tectonic. So everyone can talk about ESG, but nothing speaks more loudly than actually having a native corporation give you their capital to go explore on their land. And this Flat project is predominantly situated on that land. So this is one of the steps that we talk about, working partnerships, risk mitigation, things of that nature. We are drilling our Flat project later this year. That is scheduled and planned for spring 2023. And we do have some metallurgy, again, speaking to risk mitigation that's coming down the pipeline here. And I'll elaborate a bit more on these points here. Now, how do you find that big deposit, or how do you find that project that has the potential to become a mine? Well, we don't focus on small. Major mining companies want big. They want to change their production profiles based on the production of a particular asset. So this asset's 96,000 acres in size, about 40 kilometers by 40 kilometers. You might be asking, where's the footprint? Well, this Flat property is the 4th richest placer mining jurisdiction in Alaska. The main target there, called Chicken Mountain, you can see in yellow, that's the Golden Soul footprint, but every drainage creek coming out of Chicken Mountain is carrying gold. Now, you can see Flat Creek there in the sort of top left, 650,000 ounces of gold coming through that stream. And what's interesting, and speaking to the Snowline analogy, This is the same sort of deposit style, but you have a pristine sort of hilltop and all this gold spilling out of it. Now, how else do you find how else do you find big? Well, the Kuskokwim Mineral Belt, which is located within the Tectonic Gold Province, also hosts the largest undeveloped gold deposit in the world. It's called Donlin. It's about 40 million ounces of gold. If Donlin moves forward, yes, we can benefit from their infrastructure, but we're viewing this as standalone. A lot of people ask me, how did you acquire this asset? And yes, we have scientists and things of that nature, but it actually started with a simple question. I called my native partner and said, hey, is there another Donlin in this mineral belt? And the VP of land said to me, I got this project that Friedland worked on back in the 80s. You should take a look at it. And because of our relationship, we got to the opportunity where we actually solidified a deal here on this asset. We do have to look at infrastructure because that can kill a project quite easily. We benefit from a state-owned Herc airstrip that can accommodate, a Herc, for those that don't know, is one of the largest payload planes, if not the largest, 45,000 pounds. The placer miners have actually built roads from the airstrip to the deposit, and we do have a nearby commercial barge site where we can bring materials to and from the property. I'm going to keep motoring here because I see the time ticking away here, and I want to continue with this theme about the big footprint. So here you're looking at golden soils. They've been contoured, but that length of that golden soil anomaly is 4 kilometers. That's massive. The width ranges from 600 to about 800 meters in width. And again, to the size, the previous explorer, there's been 2, back in the mid-80s and back in the late 90s, they drilled 55 holes into Chicken Mountain. All the holes hit gold mineralization. We don't have one duster. You can see some of the drill results there, 27 grams over 1.6, but we also have 12.5 grams over 24, and then on the bottom, 5.6. What you can also see is that the majority of the golden soil anomaly hasn't been explored. Now, this area is unglaciated, so if you take a soil sample, it actually is a direct reflection of the bedrock mineralization below your feet. Again, soil anomalies work. It's proven that soils can delineate bedrock mineralization on our property just by the fact of the drilling that's happened here. Now, if we zoom out a bit, you can see the extent of the soils in this perspective here. Again, 4K by 1.7K is that window that you see there. Those are golden soil contours. And that deep purple is 0.2 grams per ton in soil. We have soils that go up to 8 grams per ton. Chen mentioned Snowline, Tectonic Gold Belt, intrusion-related gold system. Well, the godfather or the granddaddy of that deposit model is the Kinross Fort Knox mine. That's what Friedland was actually working on. He's credited for that development of that project. He actually had this asset as well. Now, we're not near a road. Fort Knox is right next to a highway for those that don't know. But Fort Knox is the granddaddy, and Flat has a lot of similarities to this deposit style. And again, speaking to the size, the footprint, you can see the Fort Knox, the 2 kilometers there by 0.5. You can also notice that our drilling, the average drill depth is 100 meters vertical. So there's huge depth potential, huge strike and width potential. And then on that note, I actually took this out of Quinton's page. He threw this up on one of his YouTube videos. We model things internally, but sometimes we don't always talk about it publicly. But what you can see here is those 55 drill holes from one end to the other, 2.6 kilometers of strike. Again, only down to 100 meters. What's interesting is that 25 out of the 55 drill holes bottomed to mineralization. That's remarkable. And again, I would challenge any exploration company, including my VPX, who's leading the charge on the technical front, please drill me 55 holes and don't miss, and make sure half of them end in mineralization. This is an open pit opportunity. Again, speaking to the economics of a project, there's little to no overburden. And again, the drilling starts at surface. So what do we acquired this about a year ago. And part of the acquisition, which is part of our business model, is to come up with a 3-year plan. That board holds me accountable. I hold my team accountable. So the first thing that we decided to do was try to kill the project. The way we did that, or trying to do that, so we're not being too successful, is with metallurgy. Metallurgy is the ability to extract the gold from the rock. It has huge implications on the engineering, the economics of a project. Thankfully, our native partners stored these holes in a warehouse, so we're able to sample the core and do met work. Now, what makes a project economic is the metallurgy, yes, but how are you processing that gold? We view this as an open pit, free milling opportunity, and those met results should be out early February, and the next step would be to look at this from a heap leach opportunity. A heap leach open pit project in a first world jurisdiction is extremely coveted. The reason why I know that is because I sold Kaminak to Goldcorp for $520 million with Ira and the other Kaminak executives by my side.